Hi everyone, Thrift Store Dave here. It is a Sunday morning and it is snowy outside as you can see behind. So one of my sons and I are gonna go to a thrift store with some family members who are coming in from out of town again. And let's see what we find on this nice winter day. Come with us. Here we are at our second favorite store in Mayfair. So when I'm tired of my current store and wanna change the scenery, this is where we go. We got a 3 for $1 offer today. Yellow and blue. Otherwise our half price tags are blue, yellow, and pink. Got the huge wall of hats that I like here. A lot of winter stuff, but I'm gonna still try to sniff out a couple other baseball caps and fedoras if possible, but they seem to have these coded by color. Trying to learn a little bit more about handbags, and I did find a Kate Spade bag. What worries me is I don't know if I can authenticate it, and at $20 I don't know if it's worth it. So Jackson just found a hoodie for me that is from one of my favorite movies, and it says I love lamp, and it is my size, and I am gonna wear this proudly. So Jackson's on a roll. He's already found a few things for me, and what is this?
It's a plate.
A collectible plate?
That
Right, turn
can
it
hang
over.
up.
It can hang up, okay, because it's got that. Looks like it was in an auction, so we're gonna try to lens this, see if it's worth anything. Lots of jewelry here to look at potentially, and a lot of other stock. Now some of those things can be priced a little high, so I'll have to look carefully.
It's sticky.
Interesting piece here.
Isn't it cool? That caught my eye.
Yeah, $7. Do you think something like this is battery powered?
Oh, it's plug-in.
Oh, plug-in, got it. So we'll just make sure it works. And then we gotta see if there's comps. Had luck in the past looking at just smalls here on the end table. So we're gonna see if any of these have stamps or if they're worth it. This is where I found a Disney one last time I was here. This looks haunting. Time to dig through some sweatshirts, see if we find any other cool ones. All right, what did you find?
It's this thing that says, hi ho the Dario, the farmer takes his wife. The wife
So
takes the child.
The farmer and the doll?
Yeah.
Here, show me the front of it. So it's an old radio and it turns and it's $1. Let's take a chance on it. Good find. Huge pile of things we're gonna. Here we are, just got out, spent an hour and a half, and spent $63. So let's see what we found. Back home now, after a great outing, spent $63. Then spent a little more on a lunch with some family, but had a great time today. Pardon my hoarse voice. I actually had no voice 2 days ago, so I'm on the mend, almost better. Wasn't COVID, thank goodness. So let's begin with what I grabbed. First off was something my son saw. It was half price of $9, and it is this etched copper plate. It can be hung up. I believe it is Turkish because it's got a label saying Istanbul, Turkey. And it was an imported item to Chicago. And so people would hang these up. They're decorative. This might go for $20. I'm optimistic. After that, I got a really interesting piece. I have to clean it up a little bit, but it is not just a globe, but it's one of those globes that is electronic. You can pull this out and look at a map. It plugs in. I have to add batteries to be sure it works, but for $7, these things retail for like $150 and used ones go for $40 to $50. So I think I'm gonna be able to sell it pretty easily. And this is just kind of one of those pieces, while it's bulky and that is a little annoying to deal with, I do like having the opportunity to learn about something new. My son also found this interesting wind-up toy that says Fisher Price. It had the old vintage label on it, vintage appearing items. So for 99 cents, I didn't hesitate. Glad it was only 99 cents. I did some homework on it afterwards because I was trying to save time. And what I learned was in 2009, they came out with a remake of this. So this is not from 1963, like I was originally hopeful. They're from 2009, and they did a really nice job making it look very vintage. And so Probably not worth the effort to resell. I'm seeing people struggle to sell them for $10, but if my younger son likes it, we can play with it and then donate it. They had an interesting series of a sale where this thrift store company called Village Discount Outlet every Sunday picks 2 colors of their tags, and anything that's priced $5 or less is 3 for $1, so 33 cents an item, provided you get 3 items. So that made me, I don't know, be more careful or more reckless as far as buying those items in groups of 3, so I wasn't paying full price for them otherwise. This was like a bag of junk, but what I bought it for was the Chuck E. Cheese semi-truck inside. I looked up comps on it. It might go for $7 on eBay. For 33 cents, that's a great margin, but not worth the time. It's more going to be helpful to hold over my 3-year-old's head to encourage good behavior for an afternoon. And I will get that behavior at the cost of 33 cents. As always, I go through ties. Different stores have different price points, but with this special like yellow tags, they're 33 cents. I got 13 ties today. I just wanted to go through a couple really quick in case others are looking, so you know what brands to grab, which brands not to grab. Okay, this one right here was a polo. It was not stained, so that was a no-brainer for $1. This Tabasco one also was $1. I paid a little more for it, but again, you bundle these and people collect these. And I'm gonna first check and see if this tie alone is worth a premium, but if not, if I can bundle 5 or 6 together for 30 bucks, that's how I'll make money on that. Another brand I had never heard of, Andrea Garavani, okay? Now, Andrea Garavani makes clothes, not a lot of comps on ties. So I am gonna try to sell it as a tie first, hoping someone likes that brand and wants one of their ties. If that fails, it's paisley. It's going to go into one of my paisley tie bundles. Just a couple more of another brand I'm not familiar with. It's called Steven Land, and they make some pretty vivid ties. These are kind of like, I don't know if you describe them as Art Deco or otherwise. Anybody with a better eye for fashion than me, please comment. But this one's even like iridescent. So I'm hoping maybe if I can just bundle them, since their price tags were cheap, they were 33 cents a piece. I'm hoping maybe I get $20, $30 for those 2 ties just alone. But that polo tie, I'm gonna try to either sell alone or put it in a bundle of polo ties. After that, I wanna do a rapid fire of shirts and hoodies and sweatshirts that I got. A couple I'm going to keep for me. So that $63 price total isn't going to be what I'm counting when I figure out what I profited, because of a couple items I think I'm going to keep. This first one really spoke to me, and Jackson found it for just $3. It was from Anchorman. And the Steve Carell character was not very bright, and this was one of the phrases that he would always say is, "I like lamp." So I'm going to wear that proudly around the neighborhood. After that, I got a fraternity t-shirt. Now, fraternities in general right now aren't doing great as far as their popularity. They're kind of being canceled, but they've made it over 100 years. They're not going away completely. And this was one that had a Bill Clinton face on it. And so you can see it says Theta Chi, Big Bill Exec Bar Crawl. So I'm going to put this up, and hopefully in January, it's rush season. Someone who's a loyal Theta Chi somewhere is going to see this shirt and want to pay me $20 for it when I paid 33 cents for it. After that, this one was $8, but I didn't hesitate because if you see it's a red Nike tag, looking up the tag history of Nike, you're going to know this is late 90s, early 2000s, I believe. And it says obviously Nike, but on the back is why I bought it. Just do it. So I did, I just bought it. Another interesting one. At first glance, I was like, okay, US Air Force, it's a nice clean hoodie. But that in itself, I don't know if people buy these a lot. But again, it was a yellow price tag and it was under $5, which means it was 33 cents. For that, I can donate it. I'm gonna definitely take a chance on it. One I spent a little bit more on was $7, was an old Kappa t-shirt. I don't know if you guys remember that brand. I don't know if it's actively being sold anymore. So I think this is a an older shirt. And if someone still likes these shirts or they ever make a comeback, this one's basically in unworn condition. So I'm gonna do a little due diligence on this and hope that someone's gonna wanna buy it. This one I kept for myself. It was $15, and it's not actually the vintage Adidas, but they had this like repop or remake of vintage Adidas a little while ago. And so for $15, I mean, I would have paid 30 to 40 for this retail. And it's basically an unworn condition. So this is now one of my new sweatshirts, and I got it for $15. Got this for $1. It is a Stranger Things t-shirt, or long sleeve t-shirt. Unfortunately, I just realized that they did not take the tag off of that. So I'm gonna have to bring it back and ask that they do, but that's kind of annoying. If anybody has any tricks or tips on how to remove these, please let me know. But again, I paid $1 for this. I intend to sell it when Stranger Things comes out with their, I believe, 4th season very soon. And then last but not least, this is one that I'm gonna keep but not wear. Being in Chicago, we are very prideful of the one World Series we won in the last 100-something years back in 2016, and periodically t-shirts still pop up from that championship. So this is very lightly worn. There's no cracking to any of the letters or words. And so for $7, I'll check comps on this, but I think this is what I'm gonna store and maybe sell in 10 more years when they still will have not won another World Series, and this may have more appeal and value because there will be fewer and fewer of them left with time. So this one I'm gonna probably just put in storage and forget about and pleasantly rediscover it someday. So not a bad haul for $63. Again, minus the 15 and so minus the 22. So really I spent about $40 or so on items that I plan to resell, and I plan to at least make probably $100 to $150 on all of that. Some things may take longer than others, but a pretty good haul, a fun day with my boy and some family members. So yeah, pleasant all around. Please like the video if you enjoyed it. Please check out my eBay store, LC208, if there's any of these items you're interested in buying. And also check back in the future at a What Sold video to see what some of these items go for. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Thrift Store Dave.